Hello boxing fans, right now I'm just talking about Paulie Malignaggi versus Pablo Cesar Cano, and that's my prediction. First we start with Paulie Malignaggi. He is 31 wins, 7 by way of knockout to 4 defeats, 2 by way of knockout. That's a 35 fight record. Pablo Cesar Cano is 25 wins, 19 of those by way of knockout, to a single defeat by a stoppage to Erik Morales. And he also has 1 draw. That's a 27 career fight record. Going through the advantages now. Look at the power. We got Cano has got the better power. He's stopped 2 of his last 3 opponents, and the third was stopped due to a head clash. He won the interim title, so he does deserve this title shot. Most of his knockouts have, however, come at domestic level, so I'm not sure if he can hurt people at world level like Paulie. Paulie, on the opposite hand, he does not have that much power. He only has a small amount of power, but he does focus on his boxing ability and not stopping his opponents. If the stoppage comes, it's a plus to him. He stopped his last opponent, but it was like on swelling of the eyes and stuff, you know what I mean? It wasn't a cold knockout. But on the other hand, if he does hurt his opponents, like we've seen in previous fights, he doesn't actually know how to close the show. So Cano's the better finisher and has got the better power of the 2 people here. When you look at the speed, we do understand this is a Paulie Malignaggi trait. He does have good speed, very fast hands. Used to have fast feet to get him in and out of trouble, in and out of range. But he's become more flat-footed now, and now that he's actually gone up in weight as well, he's going to slow down even more. The only thing is he does throw good combinations, quick combinations. He does know how to rack up points against his opposition. On the opposite hand, Cano is not slow, but he's not as quick as Paulie. He can add up some shots, but he wasn't brilliant against Erik Morales, who was the biggest fight of his career, in which he lost. However, I'm not sure everything was how it seemed in that fight. Looking at the movement, and I give that to Paulie. Like I said, he's still a decent mover. However, he is regressing as a mover. Like I said, he has become more flat-footed. Cano can move forward. He can cut down the ring. But he was exposed against an older and, much more regressed fighter in Erik Morales. But like once I said before, was that a fight? Brilliant. That wasn't the best fight of his career to judge him on. I think there's always a chance that he was paid to come into that fight just to lose. Realistically, that's why he's getting this fight as well. Maybe, who knows? Boxing ability. We've got to give that to Paulie, no doubt. He's one of the better boxers in the lower weight divisions. He can put combinations together very well. He's one of these guys who, realistically, separates the men from the boys. That's his role in the division, really. If there's a boy who's holding the title, he will take it off him. If he's fighting a man with the title, he's going to get beat. That's the only issue. So is Cano a man or a boy? That's the only issue here, and we've got to see what it comes down to in this fight. However, I slightly favour Paulie already. Like I said, he's very accurate, and he's got a big good engine. He can last the whole 12 rounds from good combination shots. Looking at the chin, and I give the advantage to Cano, believe it or not. I'm going to give him the advantage because, like I said or I've alluded to anyway, there's a type of deception in the Morales fight. You see, I don't think everything was what it seemed. He came in very late in that fight, and he was basically coming in, I think, to lose that fight, so that Morales got the title, got the 4th weight world title. And then obviously Morales went and fought another Golden Boy prospect and lost the fight unanimously on the scorecards, even though the fight was a lot closer than it really was. Or was that the opposite? The scorecards were not close, but the fight was actually quite close. That's what I meant to say. Cano's only ever been dropped once, so that I know of. Paulie has been stopped twice, and he's got a great rep for the chin. I understand that, but he's also took a lot of punishment. Miguel Cotto, he took a lot of punishment off him. He then got stopped by Ricky Hatton, in which he did take a lot of big shots, and he took a lot of punches off Love Mondo too before the Ricky Hatton fight, in which it was a split decision, and he was also stopped by Amir Khan. It's true. All this is easily. You can all look for it yourself on YouTube. I'm not lying to you. It's all easily researchable. I do agree that he does have one of the better chins in the division, but even granite breaks sooner or later Will this be the fight that, a guy with a 70% KO ratio, even if it is against lower opposition, takes him out, makes a name for himself? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, if you look at Rios versus Alvarado, Mike Alvarado has a 70% plus KO ratio, and people are picking him to beat Rios. So it's not out of the question that Cano can beat Paulie Malignaggi, who is 140 fighter at the end of his career now at 147 pounds. So I'm just going to get straight into my prediction. I'm going to give the win to Paulie. I expect Paulie to win a unanimous decision. Basically, if Cano is as bad as he was against Eric Morales, then Paulie could knock him out. There is a good chance of that, I'm not going to lie to you. But I actually think that Cano is better than he was against Morales. I think this is a good fight for Paulie. He can look good in this fight because Cano is a bit one-dimensional. He should be able to box around him. He doesn't have the power or finishing ability, to close the show against him. And I think if he wins this, he'll win a good unanimous decision, and then he can go on to fight maybe Dimitri Salita for a big money match in New York, where they're both from, and then maybe a fight against Ricky Hatton, and that one could be a bit of a 50-50 fight depending on how Ricky Hatton looks against Zinchenko. I mean, obviously he's fighting Zinchenko. Paulie beats Zinchenko. If Ricky Hatton does a better job, then that could really sway everyone's opinion from who's going to win the rematch, the Paulie Malignaggi versus Ricky Hatton rematch, if that actually happens altogether, because it might not. Anyway, tell me what you think about this fight. Tell me who you think's going to win it.